Hello guys, today I'll be doing a ranking for all the System of a Down albums. Now, there won't be any live albums or EPs, singles, or bootlegs or anything like that. I'm just going to mainly focus on the main 5 studio albums. So let's go ahead and get into it. System of a Down, one of those bands that I got into at a young age. I want to say 5th or 6th grade through the game Rock Band 2 and the song Chop Suey. But yeah, been a fan ever since, and yeah. Definitely a really good band, and definitely a really unique band, I'd say. But anyways, I'll be going from worst to best. Keep in mind, this is just my personal ranking. You don't have to agree with it, but feel free to let me know your ranking in the comment section below. But at the bottom, I have Hypnotized, and before I continue, in my opinion, there is no bad System of a Down song, but at the end of the day, this is the album that I return to the least in their discography, but there is good stuff on here. Some of my favorites: Dreaming, kind of an underrated song; Hypnotized, Stealing Society, Vicinity of Obscenity, Lonely Day. But yeah, those are some of my favorites. But yeah, overall, pretty good album, but definitely the album that I return to the least, and overall to me not as strong as their other albums. But next, this is going to be the part in my ranking that might be a bit controversial, because I know this album is sometimes close to the top for some people, even their favorite, but I don't know, I find myself reaching to the other albums more than this album here. But it is Mesmerized. I know I'm going to get looks or maybe potentially some flack for it, and that's okay, but just because it's at this spot doesn't mean that I don't like it or mean that I think it's a weak album or anything like that. But there's some really good stuff on here. Byob, one of their best songs. Cigarro, another favorite of mine on the album. This Cocaine Makes Me Feel Like I'm on the song is honestly one of my favorites on here. Yeah, it's fairly short, but it's a short, energetic, banger, catchy song. I really like that song. Question, honestly, one of their best songs. When it comes to underrated songs, I'd probably point to I almost said Sad But True, Sad Statue and Revenja. But yeah, really strong album, but not one of my personal favorites, but again, still a really good album. And then we get to this album, Steal This Album. I know I'm gonna get looks for putting this album above Mesmerized, and that's okay, but honestly, I have many great memories with the album. Whether it be listening to the album through car rides or long car rides, or just listening to the album while laying in bed with my earbuds or headphones or whatever. Just a really good album that I really enjoy. I mean, I understand why some people would put it towards the bottom, but I don't know. I think this album is a really fun listen. But some of my favorites: Intervision, Boom, ADD, which I've seen some people say is one of the best songs on here. Mr. Jack, another favorite of mine. I really like IEAIAIO and the vocal performance in that song from both Daron and Serge. Mainly Serge, but 36. I really like the shorter tracks on here too. They're pretty fun and enjoyable, sometimes even goofy. Like with Pictures, kind of a goofy song, but I really like that song. Could say the same thing with Fuck the System. I really like 36, even though it's a fairly short song, but I don't know. Still to this day, I return to that song sometimes. But Chicken Stew, another highlight on here. Streamline, overall strong album closer, I'd say. But yeah, again, really enjoyable listen. Really fun album to listen to be honest. And yeah, Steal This Album. But next we have the self-titled debut. And really strong debut, I'd say. Definitely a bit more raw than their other albums, but you also have probably some of their heaviest work on here too. But some of my favorites on here, of course, Sugar. Suggestions, probably one of the most underrated songs. Spiders, of course, another highlight on here, and kind of a unique song. Not as crazy or as aggressive as some of the other songs on here, but still really good. And definitely a good choice for a single too. Mind is another song that I think is one of the most underrated songs. Maybe their longest song if I remember correctly, but I really like that song a lot. Darts is a really cool song that I think is kind of overlooked. I really like that song. Soil, probably one of the heaviest songs on here, but yeah, really enjoyable album and definitely one of their best in my opinion. Finally, we move on to the album that is honestly one of my favorite albums of all time, and that is Toxicity. Many great memories with the album, whether it be, again, long car rides or just listening to it by myself with headphones or earbuds or whatever. This is an album that I've probably listened to in full. I already lost track of how many times I've done that. It's just definitely one of the best albums when it comes to nu metal. I know some people don't call this band nu metal. I've heard some people say prog metal, which I really don't understand. And I've heard alternative rock or alternative metal, which is understandable, but for me, I personally categorize them as nu metal. And that's no disrespect to the band or anything like that. It's just, again, I just personally categorize them as, again, nu metal. But anyways, some of my favorites: Prison Song, Needles, Deer Dance. Of course, you have their hit Chop Suey on here, which is another highlight on the album. I really like Shimmy. That's definitely one of the most overlooked songs on here. Yeah, it's a bit of a shorter song, but damn, it's a really fun song to listen to, and probably one of my favorites. And of course, you have the title track, Toxicity, which is another highlight on here, and same with Aerials, really good song, definitely another highlight. Honestly, can't go wrong with any of the songs on here. I'd maybe even go as far to say that's kind of a flawless album. I mean, again, one of my favorite albums of all time, and definitely has to be at the top for me. But anyways, that's my ranking. Let me know your thoughts on my ranking. Do you agree with my ranking? Are there placements that you disagree or agree with, and all that good stuff? But anyways, thanks for watching. Please leave a comment, like, subscribe. Have a nice day, and take care.